What's up, everybody? This is the Board Certified Gaming Podcast, the video game podcast hosted by people who don't go outdoors anyway. I'm Andy. Amar is here.
Hey,
We're back, and
my
Amar's
cat is
Amar's
also here.
cat is eating the microphone string,
Don't eat
which is
that. No,
fine.
you can eat the microphone. Don't. Chewy, what are you doing?
So if you hear a
She's
little
so
bumping, that's.
fucking stoked that I'm working from home.
I mean, yeah, cats are probably nuts. Speaking of, we're back. It's been a long time. It's been a hot minute since we've had an episode because there's been a lot of stuff happening.
What's going on?
I mean, apparently someone got a cold or something out there. I have no idea.
Like an Animal Crossing
Ozzy
cold?
Osbourne ate a bat or something. I don't know what we're dealing with here.
Fucking Ozzy Osbourne.
But
I hope he's okay.
we do understand that things are happening. It's pretty crazy outside right now.
Yeah, it snowed today in
Nobody
Wisconsin.
can go anywhere, do anything. You can only have groups of 5 or more. So if you have a family of 6, you're going to have to pick a child that has to stay outside. Unfortunately.
Can you imagine that?
I mean, hey, that's
It's
what
okay, I'm one of 10.
the
All right.
government said. I can't have.
Jeff, you're standing
You
outside.
can only have 5 people here. You know, this is 6.
Is it down to 5 now? Because last I
I
heard
think
it was
it's
10.
5. It's 5, and it's soon to be like you can't have more than 2 people. It's
So
like, what the
you-
hell am I supposed to
So
do?
you, me, my fiance, and my cats, that's 5.
Yeah. Speaking of, Amar got engaged.
Yeah, I did.
I got a job.
Fucking
world-
finally.
The world got a pandemic.
Dog, that's what happened. I always told you, I was like, the day you get a job is the day hell will freeze over.
I know.
Now we're all quarantined.
Great. So I'm sorry, everybody. That's my
Way to
fault for getting a
fucking go.
job.
Put in your 2 weeks so we can all go back to our lives.
So Amar got a fiance. I got a job. The world got sick, but we also all got Animal Crossing. It's helping.
The one good thing in the world.
The one positive news we have right now.
I could not think of a better time for Animal Crossing to come
I
out.
mean, literally,
Can you imagine having to lie to people that you don't want to socialize? Now when someone's like, hey, do you want to go grab a drink? I'm like, dog, social distancing, man.
it's a situation that I think video game players and gamers all around the world are kind of like, okay, I was born for this. So just you want me to be at home all day and find stuff to do without going places? Oh, bet. If you can
Okay,
hear
Chewy.
purring,
She's not purring.
I heard a little bit.
Did you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, Chewy.
How can I hear it and you can't? You're across the table.
I gave her all day to love up on me.
Yeah,
I've been working from home, and she chooses now.
I mean,
of
she
all
wanted to be
times.
on the episode. That's fine. I
That's
got no
okay.
problem with
We'll
that.
put you on the title card
Yeah.
picture.
I mean, let's do this one. We're coming back. Then you can come on the next one.
Jesus.
So Animal Crossing is what we're going to talk about today because, I mean, we don't have anything else. All sports are canceled. Anything is canceled. The only thing open is like grocery stores and like hospitals, and that's it.
Yeah, I've been hanging out at my local Walmart and like betting on people like beating the shit out
I
of each
know,
other.
like people are
That's my
actually.
sports.
I actually saw that all of these sports betting things are changing to like they're betting on TV and they're betting on the
Wasn't
weather.
DraftKings like betting on the debate?
And and they're betting on like HBO shows, and there are some sites where you can bet on the weather. And it's just people are running out of stuff to bet on, and they're like, "Oh my god, the last sport to hold
That's
out."
how you know you have a fucking problem.
I know. It's like I gotta, and they're probably like, "Oh, I want to bet on something." Okay, Australian rules football. Why not?
They're like Barney Stinson from How I Met Your
I
Mother.
know. They just can't stop. So we had Animal Crossing. We got it first day. Amar got it the day before because GameStop
Thank you,
was just like,
GameStop.
"Hey, we have copies, and we don't want." Which I don't think that makes sense that they had an in-store release of it, because because of the the COVID-19, and I'm like, you realize it's doing the same thing you shouldn't be doing just a day earlier. You're having all of these people come into this crowded store to pick up a game.
Surprisingly, when I
went.
went to my local GameStop, I was like literally the
empty?
only. Well, it wasn't empty. It was 2 employees and then me, and then this gentleman had walked in, pointing to the ceiling with a Nintendo Labo and said, "Hey, yo, what's this shit right here?"
Wow.
And the staff had to kind of awkwardly explain to him what it is, and then he kind of got pissed because he's like, "You guys are charging $60 for a cardboard box." To which then I looked
Fair
at the
point.
I looked at the lady and I said, "Can I just please have my copy?" I wanna
Fair
go home."
point. It is cardboard. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, he was both
He's
pissed.
got legitimate concerns.
He was both pissed and amused at the fact that you paid for cardboard. He was like, "I have cardboard at my house," but then as like the
I'll give you
GameStop
50
employee,
bucks.
well, as the GameStop employee was explaining how Labo works, he was like, "Oh, that's kind of cool."
Yeah.
To which in my head, I was like, "You could just
make it at home.
buy the
If you,
game.
if you got all this
without
cardboard,
the
apparently.
cardboard is just pre-made, so you take out the hard work, right? It's already set up where
Yeah.
you just fucking plug things together. But if you want to go make the steering wheel, like,
Go ahead. Yeah.
I'm fishing,
Yeah.
so I got
So
better things to do.
Amar has played about 30 hours, you said, of Animal Crossing?
I have played
All
lot
a
of Animal
ton.
Crossing.
I am not there yet of 30 hours, but
And it's only the
definitely
first
it's like
weekend.
5 or 6 hours a day, which it's been like 4 days. So I'm
I've
at
played
probably
so
like
much
20
Animal
something.
Crossing.
So we're going to talk about it because that's the only thing happening.
Literally the only friends I have
Yeah.
are in
The
my
only
island.
people we're allowed to be next to are animals.
No,
at
I'm
this point.
social distancing, so they
Okay.
have reactions in the game. I tested out the online play a little bit last night because I needed one of my coworkers to trade me some apples for my cherries too.
Word.
But you get reactions after a while that like the villagers teach you. One
Okay.
of them is a sneezing one. So I've been sneezing on everybody.
There you go.
And
Yeah,
then
keep them
prompted
away.
with a text that says coronavirus.
I mean, it's
People are not pleased. I got a message from Nintendo telling me to stop.
so we're going to get into our thoughts. First, follow the Twitter. It's been a while since we've plugged anything. So
Been a while.
at BCG Podcast on Twitter, at Board Certified Gaming Podcast on Instagram. Go check those out. I need to tweet them again, but I've been busy. We've just had a lot of stuff going on. And now this thing, we have a lot of free time when we're not working because we can't go anywhere. And by the way, everybody that's listening to this or accidentally found this and listened 6.5 minutes in, stay safe, stay healthy, stay indoors,
Wash your fucking hands.
stay vibing. I don't know, all that other stuff. Just do that.
Wash your fucking hands.
I mean,
stop.
you should have been
toilet
doing
paper.
that anyway. It's weird how it's like, oh yeah, now wash your hands.
Dog, all the people that are hoarding toilet paper, I'm actually making a checklist of people on Facebook because I have seen a couple people on my Facebook feed that are hoarding toilet paper. I will no longer socialize with those people.
I go to CVS to get my toilet paper so I can wipe my ass with the receipt as well.
I am not distancing myself from being friends with people because they're hoarding supplies for people that need them. Distancing myself because if you need that much toilet paper, what that tells me is never in your life have you ever washed your own ass.
Or you're not an efficient wiper. It's like, how much do you really need? Like maybe like a couple sheets and then you're like good if you really like.
Somebody actually did the
figure it out.
math.
Probably on an average like.
So like a sheet is like one square.
Yeah.
And
I use about like 6.
I think a
sheets of
dude
wipe.
I think a dude did the math where he was being very liberal.
Yeah.
Where he was like 25 sheets. So that's like
Per shit?
yeah, he was saying
Damn.
25 per shit in a 4-family household when he did the math with excuse me, how many toilet papers like people were
Rolls.
hoarding?
Yeah.
How many rolls? He said you would on average each member of the house of a 4-family house would have to take 168 shits per day. If you're taking 168 shits per day,
Then you ate at my mom's house.
you
Had to throw that in there.
you need to go to a doctor.
And
not
then
a
we're
fucking
concerned
Walmart.
about you for other reasons. So don't be stupid. Be smart. It's not
Just
that
stay
hard.
indoors, dude.
Just, yeah.
Animal Crossing's
Animal
out.
Crossing is there.
Doom
if you
is
don't
out.
have it, go
Persona 5 Royal comes out in a week.
get it.
In like 2 weeks, Final Fantasy VII Remake comes out. There are enough games coming out. Just wash your fucking hands and stay indoors.
Which sidebar, I'm very happy at all of the fan art and all of the other things that combined
Doom and Animal Crossing.
Doom and Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
And they like switched logos, and I was like,
did you see
this is
GameStop's
perfect.
like Twitter banner?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
And there, I saw somebody put Isabel in like an old version of Doom. She helps you like kill monsters, and I'm like, I just love it. Just these two games are polar opposites, but yet they've just come together because the only thing is they were released on the same.
They're
day.
a lot.
That was it.
They're a lot more similar than you would
I
think.
mean, yeah, one is a very gruesome game involving a bunch of monsters that you have to go through, and then the other one's Doom.
Thank you. That's what I was about to say. I was like, all these monsters and shit, and then there's fucking Doom.
Yeah. So speaking of
fishing is serious, man.
Yes, it is.
If I can't catch a, how do you pronounce it? Coelacanth?
I don't know.
Coelacanth?
You have caught those. I haven't caught those.
Yeah, but they don't fucking give a pronunciation. They just call it
Call it Jerry. I don't care.
Well, no, it's got a name. It's an actual fish.
Yeah, I know that.
These are all
I've
real
never
things.
I've never fished in my life. I
haven't
fished on
either.
Animal Crossing.
I have
That's
too.
about it.
Dude, I was fucking slamming beers on Saturday.
Fishing.
Just yeah, dude. I put on some
Just
fucking.
say,
I
is
put on
this what
flip.
I
I put
missed
on.
as a kid?
So I put on flip flops. Like I really got in the mood.
Did you
Like
put on like a vest with like your
Yep. I
thing?
had. I had from when I worked at AT&T. I had a vest
Do you
on.
have like a bucket hat?
No, I don't think I own one of those anymore.
I mean, Schoolboy Q's been
I
kind of
have.
hiding for a couple years.
I had like my shorts on. Like I pretty much dressed like I was ready to go fishing.
There you go. Which I guess I missed out on that, and there's a perfect opportunity to
fished
figure
all
out what I
day.
missed. So we're going to talk about Animal Crossing now, which we have been this whole time. I love it. I think it's great. It's been a long time since an Animal Crossing game came out,
8 years.
but we are enjoying the hell out of it, obviously. Who can't? I mean, at a certain point, it's you. If you've played any other Animal Crossing game,
Which ones have you played?
I have played the GameCube one, so probably OG.
Yep, that's the first one.
New Leaf a little bit.
Okay.
Pocket Camp for like 10 minutes.
That doesn't even fucking
That's
count.
not. I know, but I'm just
Get your
adding
shit
it,
and go.
and then that's about it.
Don't you
Was
ever.
there another one?
There was City Folk and Wild World. Wild World was
No idea.
for the
If they were for the 3D 2DS, I missed
no
that. Or
Wild
Wii
World.
U.
The Wild World was for the original DS. City Folk was for the Wii.
Okay, so I guess I didn't give a ton of shits about Animal Crossing back in those days, but I played the OG.
What did you do for fun?
And then I played New
Socialize, you
Leaf.
fucking nerd.
Probably, which I should have been playing more Animal Crossing. It's not like I'm confused at what things are and how to do it. I've played enough Animal Crossing in my day. Please. I'm not a professional Animal Crosser like you, but so it's fun.
Look, man, I just care about my island, and I want to
you
make
go.
sure that they all live fancy.
Which we're on an island.
I run a very socialist island. Everybody
You roll with it.
Everybody gets 1,000 bells a month from me.
I mean, hell, if Tom Nook was a socialist, that'd be pretty good.
Fucking Tom Nook.
That's the thing. He's back.
Yeah.
And he's got kids. But
I mean, he's had them from New Leaf,
not
too.
a wife. We don't hear about Mrs. Nook or Mr. Nook.
We don't talk about Mrs. Nook.
What I'm saying, like, where's she while he's like on an island with his two twin sons?
She died of lung cancer.
Oh well, my bad, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Maybe
dude.
if you read the fucking Animal Crossing
Now
fan fiction,
I did not. I missed out on that.
You would know that she was dying. That's why he was saving up all that money to pay for treatments.
Wow. Well then,
when he finally got the bells, she died.
Well, then I feel less bad that he's taking all my money, which he's still doing. You know, now
he's got to pay for Timmy and Tommy's college, dog.
I guess, yeah, no. So the whole thing is now, if you have never played an Animal Crossing game, you are on an island, but you have.
If you've never played an Animal Crossing game, I don't know if this is a good one to start with.
That is very true. You are on an island now, which means it's bigger. It's more area to cover, more things to do, more places to go.
Yeah, yes and no.
Well, you can literally fly to another place.
Yeah, but I mean,
that is like the same kind of surface area.
Yeah, but you were able to do that in New Leaf.
I know, but I'm saying it's an island. I think is bigger. It feels bigger than the GameCube version for sure. New Leaf maybe not as much, but it feels like it's getting bigger. Like a little bit bigger.
I'm genuinely trying to think because I've spent an obnoxious amount of time playing a lot of different Animal Crossings. To me, they all feel like they cover the same amount of surface area. It's just what you can do in the game.
Okay, different. Which I guess, yeah.
Like
it's all the same stuff.
I cannot stand the fact that my fucking items break now.
Which is a new thing. Which bugs the hell out of me.
I would rather Tom Nook be charging me interest than my fucking items break.
I know. It's like, if you're going to make some kind of mechanic that I don't like, then improve another area. If my tools break, that's...
Have you gotten to the point with the jumping pole and like the ladder?
Yes.
So those don't break.
Yeah, which I'm very happy about. My shovel hasn't broken either.
Do you have like the flimsy or
No, I got the regular.
Yeah, that one if you don't use it a ton.
I mean, I use it every
time.
So often. I think it's just the first one I made. It's been lasting this whole
time. I honestly
so.
only use my shovel to dig when I'm hitting rocks
or fossils. Axe. Yeah, I use axe too.
Yeah. Which you only get 4, maybe 5 fossils a day, and then you get the money tree too that you plant.
I mean, at a certain point, it's not gonna piss me off as much when I'm further in the game. I've stocked up on iron nuggets, and all I need to do is go get like a piece of wood and then make a stone axe, and then I'm done. It's just I've run out of rocks because I ate a bunch of fruit and busted the rocks.
Oh, and you did the same thing my coworker did.
And they don't come back, so I have to go to an island.
They do.
Eventually.
After like a day or two.
It's a couple days.
My coworker did the same thing because he texted me and he was just like, "Sodomy rocks," and I was like,
because
he's
you
like,
busted them.
well, he didn't. He thought that that was normal. He's like, "Is it normal for the rocks to like bust?" And I'm like, "No."
If you ate fruit, yeah.
Eventually, you're gonna get. I believe I haven't gotten to that point yet, but you're eventually going to get the like a recipe that's going to require iron ore,
Yeah.
which requires breaking rocks.
Yeah.
But
you shouldn't right away.
big brain time, you should be doing that on islands that you travel to with your Nook miles.
Yes.
You should not be doing that at your own island.
Which
so
that
he was
isn't-
eating fruit and like demolishing
Breaking
rocks.
these, yeah.
To which I had to text him to be like, "You need to fucking
Stop.
stop."
I know the fruit looks good, just
because
don't
you're not
fucking
building
eat it.
any fucking shops anytime
Yeah.
soon, dog.
So that's the thing, in that there's a whole new concept of Nook miles. This is a lot of like transportation, airline themed stuff. So there is an airport on your island, which you can travel places in. If you have a friend, you can go to their island, which means if Amar had an island and he welcomes me, which it's up to him if he does. I understand if you are.
I got everything at my island.
Yeah.
Coming by, I got cherries, I got oranges,
Oh, I might stop by.
I got bamboo trees,
I got
I've
bamboo
got
trees.
coconuts.
Dude, I got all those.
What else do I have?
Except
I have
cherries.
apples.
I got peaches.
I need peaches. No,
Come to my island.
I have pears.
Yeah.
I need peaches.
So come to my island. So I should be having him come to my island. Fuck going to his.
There's a coworker of mine that has peaches and he listens to this podcast. You know exactly who the fuck you are.
So give him all your peaches.
I hope he listens to this while I look him in the eyes.
There you go. So at a certain point, it is now, I think, what I meant by it being bigger is that it's now the concept of, instead of just taking a train or taking some other kind of mode of transportation around, you are literally flying in a plane and going to these islands and other islands that you're visiting.
Which they're all randomized too, which is
Yes.
kind of nice. So
But
it's like,
at a certain point, they're not. Like at a certain point, I've done Nook Mile redemptions to Nook tickets.
They're, like,
a lot,
randomized
and
to
it's
the
been
point-
same kind of shit. It's
well,
like
they're
all right.
randomized to the point where it's like it's meant to be like different. It's a refresh.
Yeah.
So instead of sitting and like waiting for the next day, because
They're stocked full of resources.
Nook miles you can earn like an obnoxious amount.
Yes.
So you can keep yourself busy even when you're waiting for the next day. So like if you're needing extra stuff, you just spend like 2K on Nook miles and boom, go to an island.
Which,
So even if the layout looks the same or like the fucking fruits or whatever, you can still at least be like, oh, here's a fresh rock or
yeah.
whatever.
Which, if you don't know what Nook Miles are, it's basically like a rewards program, in that you're doing just stuff you're gonna do anyway, catching bugs, catching fish, chopping down trees, selling stuff, just any kind of thing you could possibly do in Animal Crossing is counted. And then, okay, once you get a certain amount of them, that is a challenge complete, and then you get like a stamp in a book, and it's like, here's a reward of however many hundred Nook Miles.
They have the Nook Miles Plus too.
And then
Have
Nook
you gotten
Miles,
to that
yes,
point?
Nook
Okay.
Miles Plus is just the extra program that's like, here's some more menial tasks that kind of, once you get one, then another one takes its place, and it's like chop down a tree, sell 5 fruit, just like do all this other stuff.
Customize items.
Yeah.
Yeah, just shit you would normally do. The
And
first
then-
5 I know give you like doubled points.
Yeah,
Sometimes I've encountered it where it'll give me like 5 times the points.
damn, I haven't got that far yet.
But like when they gave me the best return on investment I saw was a one that gave me 5 times the points, and I think it was like 300 Nook points.
yeah,
So I got like 1,500
1,500.
Nook points.
which once you get these miles, at the first time you have to redeem the miles, that's how you pay off how you live there and how you got there.
Did you get a house finally?
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
I've got an upgraded house. So how?
What do you mean upgraded? Like you already have like
I got the
main
house.
area's bigger?
I got the house, and now it's bigger.
Nice.
So these Nook miles you redeem for things. There's like an ATM system where you can redeem miles
Yep.
for what is like a Nook premium ticket, which allows you to fly to a separate unknown island, uninhabited island. You can get all the resources from it, and
Yep.
then they burn the map to get there.
That was no. So hold on, I think I tweeted it. Give me a sec to pull it up.
They burn the map to get there,
No,
and they're
no.
like, well, "You're not, well, whatever it is, but you're
It's
not
after
allowed
they
to
leave.
You're not allowed to come back."
Yeah, because so that's the whole point is they randomize,
Yeah,
or they try
Like they
to.
found, they discovered
And
an
Wilbur-
island that you were going to.
Wilbur says, when you first land, he's like, just make sure, like,
You don't
You're
leave
absolutely
anything
sure. Yeah, don't
here.
leave anything here. And he's like, actually burn the flight plans afterwards,
Flight
security
plans.
reasons.
Yeah.
Can't explain more than that.
Yeah. So you can't go back. So it's like you redeem this ticket for I think 2,000 miles, and then you can go to a new island for the time being for like whatever, however long you need. Grab all the resources you need, fish as much as you want, go catch bugs, whatever you need to
Until
do
your shit breaks.
until you're. But then you can also ask the pilot, "Hey,
To use your Nook miles
here's
to get
100
him.
miles. Can I rent out a shovel?"
Is it only 100 for a
It's
shovel?
100 for each, I think.
Is it like the flimsy one or is it
They're
the
all
good one?
flimsy. But if you just get the one, usually there's a lot of rocks that you can get iron nuggets to make the better tools.
Well, yeah, they have the little craft bench for you too.
Yeah. So in all, I think I'm enjoying the hell out of this game.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun waking up every morning and realizing, okay, I got some stuff I wanted to do. The museum is now open. I have a lot of stuff I need to catch. I have a lot of things that I want to go do, houses I want to build, new neighbors I want to meet. But the one thing is, goes pretty slow.
Yeah.
Like very slow in terms of you need to have like a week put in, and then you'll finally be like, okay, there's a lot of people coming in. There's more stuff to do. The museum is up and running instead of just taking like 5 items and that's it. There's an actual store that gets some things, but you had to build it. You had to build the store. You had to build all the bridges. You had to build a lot of the houses that people have and like stock them with furniture. You had to go out to these islands using the Nook ticket to go find new people to come to your island.
Yeah.
Usually in the old games, they just show up. It's like, hey, you passed another day. Jim wanted to come by. He's here. He moved. Like, yay, we got a new visitor. But now it's kind of you have to bring them yourself.
Yeah, and Animal Crossing games are always kind of, slow to start with. This one is just a lot fucking slower.
They are supposed
like
to
be... I did the time traveling thing.
They are supposed to be one. Today is the day,
right?
And it will only go 24 hours when it is 24 hours in your time.
But I'll tell you, like for me personally, like I've always in every Animal Crossing game, I've done some sort of time traveling. Yeah. Whether it's, hey, I haven't played in a week and I missed out on some events or some tourneys, then
go back.
I go back, or if it's like
I really want this thing done.
Say for example, this whole COVID thing wasn't going on, and this upcoming weekend I had all these plans, but there was a fishing tourney. I would fast forward time to time travel to the fishing tournament because I want to participate, but I know this weekend I'm not going to play my Switch. So like shit like that.
Yeah.
So I set my date to March 1st because I heard everywhere online it was like it's a slow build up. So I went from March 1st up until today's date. Dog, I'm still waiting for some shit to unlock. Like I got the Able sisters finally, and then now Kix showed up to open up his sneaker shop. But I need to have him come, I think, another time because he's come 2 times so far. So I think he needs to come a 3rd time, and I probably have to spend like a certain amount of bells because there's that weird stage right now where it's so early in like the release of the Animal Crossing game
that they need to put out more stuff.
Not that. The whole community is trying to figure the game out. You know, we're all trying to figure out, okay, how much does it take to, because in previous games it was at Nook's Cranny, you spend this amount of money, and then after this amount of days of your town being built, then this is when it upgrades to the next shop level.
Yeah.
People are still kind of trying to figure that out of like, okay, this is, you got to wait like 30 days until Nook's Cranny upgrades, but then it's like what's past that? Same for all these other shops.
It was more your rent related. It's like once your rent was paid off, okay, then conveniently the store was upgraded. Yeah. And now it's like, all right, I
still haven't even
here's all this other shit you got to do.
I'm still waiting because right now the point that I'm in is I've got the full 10 villagers.
Yeah.
And I have a 2 out of 5 star rating on my island. I have to get a 3 out of 5 because they want KK Slider to come and do a concert.
Hell yeah.
Which after that point, when he does the concert...
That's going to bring more people, probably.
Well, no, you're capped at 10.
Oh, you're capped at 10?
You're capped at 10.
Oh, I had no idea.
You're capped at 10 villagers, but they can fluctuate.
Yeah,
like
some will probably move out.
I had one villager that came up today that was like, hey, I've been thinking about moving. And I liked her, so I was like, no, you should stay. But I can absolutely be like, yeah, go fuck yourself. You should leave.
Go to someone else's island, piece of shit.
But I think that's right around the time when I would unlock terraforming. So then I can start like
you can change
fucking with the map. Yeah, start like building like sidewalks.
Which
and
I think is the effect they're trying to go with in hopefully build up is that, hey, once you get through all this monotonous garbage for the next, 2 weeks while you have stuff going on, eventually you can change the layout of this island. So it's like, man, I really, really hate having to go up and use the ladder and get on top of this thing, and then use another ladder to get up on the second level that's on top of that level. And it's like, no, I'm just going to change it and knock that shit down. So it's like, boom, this level's flat now, or there's a ramp, or there's something else where it's like in the old games, it was kind of more streamlined in that there wasn't a bunch of hoops to jump through. A lot of the time, it was just, hey, new person moved in, go talk to them,
Yeah, you didn't have to like
run
build
some
like all this extra
errands.
shit.
Hey, if they want, they're probably going to ask you to build them a snowman in the winter time. Like, it's not like you're changing this. Oh, I didn't have to build the store. I didn't have to build this other thing. I didn't have to build
They were already
bridges.
there.
They were already there.
Yeah.
Whereas
Some
this
were,
one,
others you had to.
yeah,
I really hope that they have the fucking nightclub.
the nightclub.
Yeah, in Animal Crossing.
I mean, you could probably
New
put one
Leaf.
in there.
No, in New Leaf there was a nightclub. What was it called? It was hold on, New Leaf nightclub.
I mean, hey,
You had to do
they
something.
got a
It was
party
called
pretty
Club A. It was called Club LOL.
that sounds terrible.
No, it was great because that's where.
That sounds like a comedy club.
No, that's where KK Slider used to come, and
Okay, which
that
if you
shit was
can,
hot on Saturday nights.
if you could bring him, you're gonna bring a lot of fucking money to that island.
There was also
He's
a
a
coffee.
star, man.
There was also a coffee shop. Like there was a lot of stuff.
Yeah, which I'm assuming
That's-
they're gonna just updates because we can now with the Switch. There's a new like we can put a gym or we can put a farmer's market or something like whatever you want. Like buy produce from other islands. Like there's people there. That rug salesman, he's there. The stock.
She, the rug
Oh,
salesman,
sorry,
Sahara.
Sorry,
You're
I
such a
didn't.
fucking
Yeah, I
noob.
know. My bad.
God.
The stock market is there where you can buy turnips and then
Yep.
trade them into the store. Like
Yep.
it's a lot of interesting stuff. It's just at a certain point, I want it all now instead of like, well, I got to actually wait in game time, in
Yeah.
real time, a month before like I can just do whatever. Like I can't even get a slingshot. There's balloons flying all over the place with
And you
gifts.
can't do shit. Yeah.
And you can't do anything about it. And it's like, okay, well then I gotta wait. The first day, you're like, yeah, you can have maybe an axe, and that's it. You gotta figure out what you're doing, and then meanwhile, you gotta do all these tasks where it's like a story mode.
Yep.
And it's like, I just want to get in and then do whatever. I want to fish all day and then put them in the museum that's already there. Nope, you got to build the museum. Nope, you got to do all this other stuff. It's just, it's taking. I get that the whole point is they don't want you to finish it within like 3 days.
Well, I mean, there's no finishing Animal Crossing.
And that's the point.
There's no end to it.
But it feels like with this one where it's a lot of story tasks, at a certain point, there's going to run out of things for Tom Nook to tell you to do.
Correct. And then it just gets to a point where it's like just fucking
Just
live,
fill the
man.
museum. I
Yeah.
know, but and that at a
Because
certain
that was the thing
point-
in New Leaf. New Leaf, like the big thing was to get like 100% approval rating, being the new mayor of the town.
Oh yeah.
And then after that, it was like just run loose with your dick out.
I mean, I need to get in the mindset of like none of this really matters. It's a game that I'm gonna pick up like in a month. Like it's just play for like an hour,
Yeah.
just because things change. Check my mail, pull up
Yep.
some weeds, go check the shops, do whatever.
There's
Instead
so
of
many
spending-
more weeds now that there's fucking crafting. It's actually
Yeah.
annoying.
Which it's nice that the weeds are at least used for something.
Yeah, that's true. Instead of just being fucking sold
Yeah.
for low money.
I mean, at a certain point, it gets to like
Actually, no. In the older games, you couldn't even sell the weeds. You just plucked
they just
them.
plucked them and
that
then
was
they
it, yeah.
disappeared. So when you play this game for 7 hours a day or more than that, you're
What
gonna.
are you trying to say?
Well, I'm saying when people are doing that, like you or me, they're like, okay, I'm playing for 7 hours, but nothing has changed. I'm still fishing. I'm still catching bugs.
Yeah.
And then I can't progress on this new thing. And then they're like, a month from now, you'll finish all those things. And I'm like, but the thing of me is I want to just get to the point where I'm happy playing for an hour because I've done all the things.
Right. It's
There's
just
not a
checking
bunch
in.
of I'm playing it now. It's like, all right, I'm gonna finish this task, and then at a certain point when he's like, the thing will come up tomorrow, or the
It's like,
house will
cool,
be
I'm
built
gonna go
tomorrow.
Turn on my Xbox or something.
And then I'm like, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
cool. I can finish for the day. I'm done because there's no pressing tasks that I need to do. Everything I can wait
Yeah.
till literally tomorrow when
well,
I
and
get up.
that's ultimately where it is. And like I said, I've opened up enough where with time traveling that I've comfortably gotten to that point where now basically my daily routine is, I get up, log into the game, I go find the 4 fossils. I have Blathers check
Yeah.
it out. If I can donate, I donate. If not,
Sell them.
sell them. I go talk to all my villagers, see how they're doing, see if there's any pressing issues. We're all trying to get KK to come to my island.
I
but,
mean, if he's coming to your island, tell him to come to mine.
I'll let him know for
Yeah,
sure.
Like, because you're my guy on the inside now. You know KK Slider.
Well, I don't know him yet.
Well,
We're
you're
working on
gonna
it.
meet him though.
I hope so.
Yeah.
But
He
it's
sounds really cool.
because that's where it gets to is like the day to day, and then after that, it's just all fun
But
stuff where
that's
it's
what I
just
want.
like,
You skipped. I want to do that without skipping, which is
sure,
basically saying I'm impatient, but it's a weird feeling because I'm impatient because that impatience wants me to get to the boring stuff.
I will tell you one thing though, because we are on two different ends, right? Like
Yeah.
I chose to do the time traveling thing, you chose to wait.
Yeah, I did it naturally.
Either way, the satisfaction is going to be the same
Yeah.
because I can tell you right now that all the stuff that I have unlocked and all the stuff that I can do, it is fun. But I'm also still at that same boat that you're in where it's like, okay, that's all I can do is fish today.
Yeah. So
Like
I
I've been
know what I'm
working
able to do.
I've been working from home. So my whole thing with the time traveling is I wanted to start early enough. So I set it to March 1st and I picked the game up March 19th. And I slowly
So you had
over the
19
weekend
days of
of in-game
time
time,
traveling
correct.
to
But
get all that stuff done.
it wasn't just, hop in, do the tasks, leave. There were, a lot of times where I would fast forward to the next day and it was raining. So then at that point I was like, this is prime time fishing right here. This is where you get the rarest fish is when it's raining. You can catch the coelacanth, you can catch a tuna,
Yeah.
you have a lot higher chances. So I spent like 4 hours just sitting on like March 18th because it was fucking raining.
Yeah.
I lucked out where like today, for example, it was also raining. It was raining last night and today in my island.
Which, for those asking, it has nothing to do with the weather outside.
Correct. So I woke up this morning and I started, because I'm working from home, I started my day and I was like, okay, I'm just going to go get my fossils for the day, trade them into blathers. If there's none, then I just sell them because they sell for about $1,000 each,
Yeah.
depending on what it is. Found out it was raining. At that point, I was like, work? Mm-mm. I'm farming all day.
Yeah.
And I just fished all day. So you're going to have those moments where, you're going to sit there and be like, I don't know. I fucking feel
Yeah.
like
What do I want to do today?
I saved up 100,000 bells. I feel like completely rearranging my fucking house.
Yeah, I want to buy that
you know?
nice dresser that's at the
Because
shop
even
I
though
want to.
yes, I have been like doing the whole time travel thing. Every time I go into Nook's Cranny or every time I look at a Nook shop, I don't see household items that I want.
Yeah.
So instead, what I'm doing is just my dailies, getting my Nook miles, talking to villagers, and then that's it.
Yeah.
I have my house, which is like kind of decked out because right now I already maximized how big my main room can be, and I have that second like back bedroom,
Yeah.
and that's my next expansion. But it's like I don't have, because eventually you get to a point where like you want to fill your house
Yeah, you
with
want to have
stuff,
stuff
but because there's the Happy Home Academy, you want to fill it with a theme
with
so you
nice
can
stuff.
increase the
Yeah.
points. So
Which it's
like in
nice
the
that that's there, so it gives you a purpose
yeah,
behind instead of
so
just
like
that is cool. Throw it in my
eventually it's
house.
going to get to a point where like there's going to be a theme of like cute furniture or
Yeah.
like it's literally called like cute, or it's called modern, or it's called
Wooden.
rustic, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, wooden, where I'm going to sit there and be like, okay, this is a room dedicated to that kind of theme.
Yeah.
Everything I have in that room, because then that builds up your Happy Home Academy ranking,
Yeah. It's
so
just
there's so much shit to do where
there is, yeah.
it's kind of arbitrary because like as I go online, like I see people that are on both sides that are like, you shouldn't be time traveling, that's fucking gross, that's cheating. But then I see people that are like, just fucking play how you want, and it's like, yeah, just fucking play how you
Yeah.
want.
Which
Because this game, regardless of how you tackle it, even on the first day, right? I remember I set the date to March 1st, but I still spent 5 hours
yeah.
sitting on March 1st. The first hour was blasting through talking to Tom
Which
Nook
you
and
would do
figuring out the game.
anyway had you put
Correct.
it on today's date.
Because I fucking wanted to see it all as
Yeah.
much as I could.
And it's a certain point, it's like I can't do anything until they let me do it. Like,
but you can still play.
you can still do. You can
That's
still,
the beauty.
yeah.
That was always what was attractive to me about Animal Crossing was you can sit there and be like, okay, I'm only gonna hop in for 30 minutes to an hour, do what I feel like I need to accomplish, call it a day. Or you can do what you need to do and then just spend all day doing
You don't
anything.
have to do those tasks that for
No.
Tom Nook. You can just like, I'm gonna spend all day fishing and build
Bug
up money
catching.
for
I'm
some
gonna
reason.
travel islands. Yeah, I'm gonna try to build a bridge.
Put it
I'm
in
gonna
my
talk to
savings
my
account.
residents.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna sit there. A lot of people. I'm not creative when it comes to designing shit.
I'm not.
I've already
you
seen.
could spend 20 minutes.
I've seen
doing
so
that.
many people
Yeah.
spending hours designing like shit for shirts and posters and whatnot.
Which the thing I love about Animal Crossing, like you're kind of saying, is it's you can get what you want to get out of it. If you just literally don't want to have anybody come to your island and all you want to do is spend all day fishing or catching bugs, those will be there.
Animal Crossing is a lot like the real world, just minus the bullshit.
Yeah. At a certain point, there will be a limit to the things you can catch, meaning there are other areas of the island where things will be more hey, there's more bugs here. There's different bugs
When
here.
you gotta
There's
wait
different
until,
fish here.
like the southern hemisphere. Like, so if you pick southern
I
hemisphere,
pick northern.
well, that's because that's where we live.
Southern's got probably a little bit more exotic fish that you don't
Southern,
have access to.
yeah, southern right now is basically about to start winter
Yeah.
in the game. So yeah, they've got access to, there's a whole list online where it's like, for us, we can catch, fish during April.
Sea bass all the time. Yeah. Black bass and all the other.
Fuck. Sea bass
At
is so
a certain point, you get to like, okay, I always even know, I'm like, all right, that's the size of that fish. I know exactly one of the 3 fish that is. And at a certain point, you do get to the end of it of like, all right, I've caught about every fish I could in this area. I'm going to have to go somewhere else or do this story task to get this extra tool in order to get over to the other side and then find more fruit or more trees or more rocks or more things like that. Because at a certain point, you're going to run out of that and you're like, well, I have to, which it makes it so you can easily just go to Tom Nook and say, hey, what do you need? Or you're like, fuck you. Today, I'm going to do what I want to do. And then if I get tired, then maybe I'll help you out or go
Right.
talk to my neighbors or whatever. So you can kind of get what you want to get out of it, take it however you want it, as slowly or in your case, as quickly as you want to get stuff done and get to the not end game, but like the whatever's left, whatever you want to do.
The leisurely tasks.
Yeah.
Because it is a chore to sit there and be like, I gotta go find
leisurely
these fucking...
task is a very oxymoronic, but
Well, for me in Animal Crossing, it's a fucking chore to look for those fossils.
it is.
Because you gotta search for them, you gotta dig them up, you gotta fucking close the fucking hole that you dug up, you gotta take it all the way to Blathers, you have to have them fucking assess it, and you gotta...
Yeah.
No,
Which
leisurely for me is literally sitting there at the fucking beach, cracking open a beer in the real world, getting my fishing rod out in the fake world. And I just sit there and I fish for hours. And especially if it's raining,
yeah.
don't even talk to me that day.
I mean,
I'm going to be fishing all fucking day.
the thing is, which I'm very happy, is that they have kind of listened to what people have been saying about the other games. So when the museum is up, and I was like, I do not want to have to explain and like, hey, here's this item. Okay, tell me about it. Here's this item.
You can skip
You
that.
can just skip that all and
Yep.
donate multiple
don't have
things
time.
at a
Yup.
time. And I'm
Mhm.
like, thank you. That was a thing that we have been complaining
Yup.
about for years. And then they changed it. And I'm like, oh my God. If, by the way, if you do give just one thing, he does do the whole, do you want to hear about it? Oh,
Yeah,
this
you can
is
still
that
skip
thing.
it though,
You can still skip it.
which I always
But
do.
at a
'cause I'm
certain
like, I don't give a
point,
shit, man. Just fucking take it so I can sell it the next time.
this is going to lead me into another point. But the one thing that everybody had a problem with was changed, but I have another problem with it now. It's kind of caused a problem for me, at least, which you don't have this experience. I do. So now you can have, it's one island per Switch. So you can have up to,
Yeah.
I think, 8 people, 8 accounts on your Switch
On
on
one
that
island. Yeah.
So when so my girlfriend wanted to play. So I said, okay, you've never played Animal Crossing before. You're going to kind of get a crash. I thought she was going to get a crash course. She's going to go through the same thing I did.
Mm-mm.
Nope. She's just thrown right in like, hey, you're at this island now. So exist. But it's like,
Which I mean, I think
I don't have any access to all the tools, all the recipes, all the things, all the lessons that
that's
I
how
learned.
That's how it was in the previous
Probably.
games, because like in New Leaf, it all saved to the cartridge.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's saved to the storage, but like the cartridge itself, like when you logged in, it automatically detected. So it was like, hey, you can create a new villager or
Yeah.
fucking play as the mayor. New Leaf, it kind of sucked when you had multiple accounts because only one person could make decisions.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works in New Horizons. Like, I don't know if you've had your
So,
girlfriend
yes.
try to like build a bridge if she's able to.
So the whole thing is when you're both on,
Mm-hmm.
it's whoever's the leader does whatever they want.
Okay.
And then the follower, if I pick something up or catch something or do whatever, it's going to show up in her lost and found. I don't get it.
That's just for local play?
That's for local play.
That's weird.
So whenever she did something, she got to keep it. And whenever I caught a
'Cause I
bug,
did
she got to keep it.
Yeah. Well, I did online play with a buddy and he caught like
That might be different.
yeah, he caught a tuna fish and he got to like he couldn't sell it in my spot,
But it'll end up in his inventory.
Yeah, it ended up in his inventory. And he took it right back and then sold it or donated it to his museum. My
So
question is though, so if she boots up the game
yeah,
under her account, not under you, the one that started the island, can she? Well, I guess you don't have the resident services building, do you?
the tent.
No, not the tent.
It's a
You
tent.
upgrade.
It's a tent right
It's a
now.
tent right now. Okay. You eventually let me know. You eventually upgrade from the tent to a building, and then it's both Nook and Isabel.
Okay, so she's not there yet. Yeah.
When they get there, let me know because I'm curious about that. I haven't even bothered looking it online, but I'm curious to see because, like I said, when you played Animal Crossing New Leaf, only one person was the mayor.
Yeah.
So, meaning if you and I shared a DS and I was the mayor, and
There's a limited thing that I can do with
you
that
can't do
thing.
shit.
Yeah.
You could only play the game.
You can only fish and
You could
catch
donate.
bugs.
So you could, yeah, you could fish, catch bugs. You could travel. You could build your own house.
But you can't make
You
executive
could donate.
decisions.
Yeah, you could donate. If I said, "Hey, I want to build a bridge over here," and then they get Lloyd the gyroid sitting there to collect
to make
donations,
it, yeah.
you could donate. But you couldn't sit there and be like, "Hey, I want to build a bridge over here."
Yeah.
I'm curious if it's still the same way. If like you're the resident representative and like that's what that is you make all the calls, or if they kind of I guess open it
So
up more because I'm not concerned by
yeah,
any means. Like I'm only more concerned.
this is a minute problem to have.
Well, I'm only concerned if my fiance ever takes it to work because she works with children.
Yeah.
So naturally, I always tell her play on your account to not fuck my shit up. But if I find out that one of these little kids that she's working with decided to build a bridge in an area that I didn't want a bridge being built, there's no way to cancel that. So now I got to drive to this motherfucker's house and I got to kick the shit out of an 8-year-old.
Yeah. So
Because you're building a bridge where I don't want a bridge.
at a certain point,
I wouldn't actually kick the shit out of an 8-year-old unless
just
they built a bridge in my
a
fucking
disclaimer.
island.
So when she played, she was just kind of thrown in and kind of had a little crash course, meaning Tom Nook was like, hey, so if you want this DIY recipe, the first one to like say, okay, now you have the app in your phone, here you go. But then when she goes and talks to him again, it's not like, hey, now you got to build this thing. Now we got to worry about getting my buddy here for the museum. The museum's already here. Blathers is already there. So she doesn't really have to do the whole, okay, well, now to get all these bugs and stuff, here's all these recipes. So I have tons of recipes. She's
Right.
only got minute ones. She doesn't have one for a shovel or an axe or all this other stuff. I have to send her these things in the mail. I had to send her the pole vault because she's like, there's no way she's going to get that.
Right.
I had to send her a ladder because I'm like, there's no way you're going to get that because the quests and the tasks that you have to do have already been done by me in this island. So you're kind of like not a second class citizen, but you're like, yeah, just catch up. Like you're just here for fun. Like you're just here to maybe fish or like it's almost like you're here only for a little bit for like that session. You're not there for like the long term. So if you want, eventually, probably, that was loud. Eventually,
Bing.
yeah. Eventually, if you want to get there, like, all right, if she wants to get where I am, she's going to have to go much further, go much heavier on things. And I don't know how you eventually find these recipes, especially when they're task related.
A lot
I
of
don't
them
get
I've been
it.
finding on the beach.
There are some, but most of those are like furniture. I'm talking about tools or like useful things.
So
where
I
you
know-
learned from Tom Nook to get them sent to your phone. She doesn't really have the opportunity unless there's extra tasks that he needs done. But at a certain point, it's like, build this house. Okay, I built the house. Okay, now we're building the shop. She doesn't have to do the build the shop one because I built it already.
You can go if you so you have Nook's Cranny open, right?
Yeah, the shop.
You
yeah.
can go if you go in the back left by that little slide thing.
The cabinet.
You can buy recipes back there.
Okay,
And
I
they
didn't know
have
were-
they have recipes for like a shovel.
Okay, I didn't know
slingshot,
that there were
all that.
recipes to people.
So you could buy those recipes. She could probably even buy them herself.
Oh yeah, if the store's open for her, because that was the whole thing we were confused about. She was like, "I know nothing about Animal Crossing, and they're kind of just throwing you in." And
That's
it was
because
like,
she didn't start from
and
the
I was like,
beginning.
if you had your own Switch or you were just playing this for the first time, it really held your hand.
Oh, absolutely.
It held your hand so much.
It always does.
To where it's like I almost wish our experiences were switched. Like I wish I could do what I wanted to do, like
she
right,
kinda
because
started
I
it
knew what
off.
I was doing.
Yeah.
She was like trying to figure out the button schemes. She was trying to figure out like, why am I doing this? Where am I going to go next? She's like, I wouldn't have had any idea to go to this tent
Right.
because it starts out, he's in it already. And I had to tell her, go in that tent because that's where Tom Nook is. Instead of him just being outside saying, hey, welcome. Here's all this stuff you got to do. You
Right.
got to help us out. I'll be in here. He didn't mention that.
Maybe that's something they can address in a future
Maybe.
patch now.
And they might have the mindset where it's like, we make this game for you. And if
'Cause I'm
somebody
trying
else
to
wants
think.
the same experience as you, they're better
trying
off
to think.
getting their own Switch.
I would
and
have
having
to
their own
I would
island.
have to confirm, but I feel like the very first Animal Crossing on GameCube, even when you made an additional account, I feel like they still held the hands of everybody
of,
else,
yeah.
being like, "Hey, this is kind of how you pay for shit.
This is
kind
what,
of what you
press
do."
this button to do this thing.
You know, because then at that point it was like
Here's
if
where
you had
this is, yeah.
siblings, it was a race to who could pay off their house
Yeah.
first, because then you got the big ass golden statue.
This is I guess a little less hand holding for those who want to join your island.
This would probably be better suited if it was like, say you and I were roommates and you picked up a copy and you started playing it, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna log in, and I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Like, I can't make changes.
Yeah.
Maybe I can. I don't know, but like, I know how to play Animal Crossing.
This sounds
Whereas for your girlfriend, she's like, this is the first one I played. I don't fucking know what I'm doing.
This sounds bad, but I feel like the second player, like the second person on the island option, is for people who really aren't gonna want to play that often. They just want to get the minimal experience.
Yeah, they just
'Cause-
want to play like here and there. They want to just
she's like, okay,
poke their head in.
I can go. She's like, I love fishing. Like she was just fishing all the day. She's better than me at it. She's like super good at it. That's all she did. She's like, I'm perfectly content just going and fishing.
Yeah.
And then if she joins, tomorrow, and it turns out, oh, there's a bridge here.
Right.
I can go over to that area and explore it. Sure.
Right.
Like it's for those people who don't want the main experience.
They just
but
want to play fun. Yeah.
Are just fine.
It's for people who
exploring
think it's cute,
Yeah.
right? It's not for people like myself that realize that a bridge costs 98,000 bells.
Yeah.
And in order to do that, I have to fish. Then I have to put it in my automatic bell dispenser, which at a yearly interest rate gives me 6.2% return on investment, which at that point, that interest then I can take and multiply, and then I can start paying off my house. It's real fucking life, Andy.
Yeah.
And that's what she doesn't fucking understand.
I mean, I think it's a nice. It's not a very complex game.
Yeah,
to
it must be nice
understand.
just to fish for fun.
I know, like
Because I'm fishing for my fucking life.
we're fighting.
I'm fishing for my fucking life.
Oh man! So
Do you know how many emperor butterflies I had to catch just to feed my fucking daughter?
I mean, at a certain point, these people who play this game, you're not gonna. If you're just coming into gaming, you're not gonna just find Animal Crossing and be like, yeah, that's 100% in.
Well, unless
you're
you're
not
like a kid.
unless you're, but you're
Yeah.
not. You're like gonna see cartoons. You're gonna see like, oh, these are animal people. Like, oh yeah,
Sure.
if you're an adult and you're like just getting into video games, have never really played a video game, it is easy to understand.
If you're
once
an
you get
adult
in.
stressed out by the real world and you want to get stressed out by a virtual world,
Even the name, you're gonna be like Animal Crossing. I have zero idea what this game is about, even by hearing the title. So for her, who isn't really a gamer at all, who played it, she's kind of swimming a little bit.
It's fun.
She's a little lost.
Yeah.
But once she figured it out, which is a lot of kind of self-coaching, like,
Sure.
okay, I'm gonna have to. Okay, that's what that button does. Okay, that's where that thing is.
how many hours did she sit playing it?
She actually was pretty hooked for a while.
I was gonna say, because I remember
she put a couple hours.
I
in.
saw your fucking Snapchat, and she looked like she was cozy
She
with
was
her
in the
blanket
zone.
and the Switch
Yeah.
with the fucking USB-C in there, and I was like, she's not moving
She
for a
was
few
in the
hours.
zone, and I was very impressed. Like she sat through, I think, a whole movie just playing it. She's like, I didn't even watch that movie. And I was like,
Wow.
Yeah. Like I was once.
Hell yeah.
I know. Once you
It's a
get
fucking great game.
once you get into it, once you were like, oh, okay, like they didn't tell me to press this button to do this thing, but now that I know that's what that button does, okay, I got it. Like easy. But at a certain point, it's the only knock I have on it is that the first player gets probably the full experience.
See, you're such a good significant other, because my fiance wanted to play it, and I was like, you're
But-
gonna fuck my island.
But
up.
if I don't think that there's much because I
hope
can
not.
only build one bridge at a time.
True.
Maybe when she gets there, she can probably put one up. If
Maybe.
that is, but the task was for that. Hey, build these houses.
Yeah.
Which if I build all the houses, they're not going to need to tell her, hey, put up a bridge so I can put up these other 3 houses. That's the only reason.
Correct, because you
got
actually
the
don't
bridge.
get to do that until after, because I made the mistake where I built a house on a section where, because they have you build the bridge first, I think.
Yeah.
And then after
And
that,
then you're like, hey, put a house there.
so I built a bridge, and then I fucking put a house across the river where I didn't build the bridge.
Yeah.
So somehow this person was getting across the river beyond my knowledge.
I mean, at a certain point, which I always use that phrase, at a certain point, these people are hopefully, because if they cared enough, they're like, yes, I want to play Animal Crossing 100%, want to get the full experience. Then they might have known something about it previously and would understand, okay, but I want my own island. Like, I don't want to be a person on your island. I want to get my own. So then they'd be like, all right, well, I'll just get my own Switch or a Switch Lite, which is like really cheap now, which you're not going to need it docked anyway. You can play it fully handheld.
Just doing whatever, yeah.
Yeah. So at a certain point, which I said again, these people aren't
At a certain point.
looking for the main. If they're looking for the main experience, probably not for you to join someone else's. It might be best to get your own if you have zero idea what you're doing and want to have your hand held.
Right.
If you're just like, I don't really care, as long as I can figure out what I'm doing and maybe get a little bit of instruction from someone else, I'll figure it out and eventually have all of the tools I need to survive. I'm sending Morgan things where it's like, hey, I know you're going to need a ladder. So here's a ladder because I don't necessarily know if you can find a recipe or you're going to be given one. So here's this stuff just as like a start. Here's some, here's a pole vault. You might need that before I can, if you play before I can put the bridges up, here you go.
Right.
If you need this, here you go. Like if I'm helping you out, you don't need to worry about fixing the store because the store is already being built by me. You just need to worry about collecting miles, spending those miles on other stuff, and just enjoying living in the thing. If you want, she went to other people's like other islands using the premium tickets, and she's like, okay, like there's a bunch of other cool stuff here. She didn't really know what that meant because it didn't really explain a ton to her. It was just like, you have a premium ticket, cool, let's go to the island. And she's like, I'm on another island, I guess. And I was like, okay, then get whatever resources you need because you're not going back there. It's just kind of like a side thing so you can get some resources and then book and then take those and build whatever you need. Side note, there's a lot of building in this game. A ton. You are on those workshops, a ton.
Yep. That's
ton of
why
recipes.
I've built a couple around my island
Yeah.
just so they're like quick access.
Yeah, just it's crazy how much time I'm spending on the workshops, which it's kind of annoying, but I know it's worked like at a certain point. I'd say
It's not like super
fucking time.
annoying crafting,
Jesus.
so I'm just like dealing with it.
It eventually gets to the where you're not all the time.
It gets
It's
to
like
a certain point.
at a certain point, I need to clock myself every time I say that. Just drink every time I say at a certain point. So when you get there, there is a part of the game where you're like, I don't need to build anything right now. My tools are all fine. The tasks that I was asked to do, they're all done. I can fish with this fishing pole for the next hour and it won't break. I can go chop down 20 trees and I won't have any problem with it. I can go do whatever. So it's not too bad, but I don't want to, because especially where mine is only, I only have one in the green tent. I forgot what it's called, the resources center, whatever the hell it is.
The resident
center,
or
that's
like
what it is. Yeah, resident services or whatever. That's where my workshop is. So it's like, okay, constantly I have to go in there, but I always like remember that's where the ATM is. That's where Timmy was, but now he's in the shop.
Yep.
So at a certain
I think
point,
that's where your lost and found and shit is.
Damn it. So when you get there, it's okay. At least they're putting this all in one spot for me. But now that things are moving, it's becoming a little bit more of a hassle. Meaning now, but you're able to make those. I could make 5 workshops if I wanted to.
Right.
It's just now that everybody's spread out, it's like I should. So it gets to be a little bit annoying and monotonous, but that's kind of Animal Crossing. It's always been that. It's always been, okay, now you got to catch 5 fish. You were going to do that anyway. So go catch 5 fish, get your 200 miles, and then you can redeem another premium ticket, go to wherever you want, get some resources, and kind of start over. So it's just we're waiting for the story kind of to be done. Like this is an intense story mode, if we need to call it something, meaning you're getting a bunch of tasks and you can't progress until the next day, which does open the argument for time traveling, which I might try. Who cares if I don't? It's not really a big deal if people do. It's just some people want to pick it up. All right, today is today's date. I'm going to do things today and then put it down. Some people think it's kind of cool that it tracks. Oh, hey, do you know it's March 25th at 10 p.m.? You're like, no shit, it is.
Thank you.
I looked at my watch. You're
I need to
damn
go to
right it
bed.
is. Yeah. So I am enjoying the hell out of it. Other people are enjoying the hell hell out of it as well. That's what I've been saying. It's not a bad game at all. Not even. It's just it's so weird that this is a concept that works in that you're just doing chores and you're paying off debt and
No
like
interest free though, baby.
and then that's it. That's the game. But people are like, yeah, oh, it's fucking great. Like, oh yeah, I just owe him like
No.
I had the first time that Morgan owed money, like when he started using bells instead of miles. I was like, yeah, it's about like 98,000 bells. She's like, 98,000 bells? But she had no idea that it's like, oh, that's I can get that in like an hour and a half. Like that's it.
Hour and a half if you're lucky.
I know, but it's like all I do is catch fish all day and catch bugs and go back and sell them. Like if I just do that like 10 times, I'll have more than enough. And then it's like you can redeem your miles to get your bigger pockets. You can redeem your miles to get a tool ring, which is very helpful. So it's like they've kind of understood what people do in the game and kind of have put in little things to, okay, so this is a little bit more streamlined. This is a little bit easier. This is a little bit less of a pain in the ass. But they've kind of ramped up we're not just going to give it all to you right away. You're going to have to be in for the long haul and play a lot and keep up with it or time skip if you're a dirty cheater. Amar just rolled his eyes at me. I'm sorry. You're not a cheater.
You played all Animal Crossing games.
I've played 2, 3, including this one.
Okay.
So I'm having a great time. I'm enjoying myself. I'm actually going to go play some more. I'm actually going to conduct an experiment. I'm going to leave it with my girlfriend and see how much she plays. I'm fine.
Does she have her own like account or such?
Yeah, she does.
With like link to a Nintendo ID?
No.
It has to be linked so you can see the total time played.
I'm not going to. She's going to tell me. Like I'm going to know.
She's going to sit there and get all stressed out. She's like, I got nothing done.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Welcome.
That's what I'm saying. She's bored. She's bored out of her mind right now. She's like,
yeah, her job's probably closed too. Huh?
She's like, I'm going to get a pet. I'm going to foster a pet. And
no,
then,
just
and like that's not
Switch.
working. So I was like, okay, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going there after this. I'm going to leave it there and then see if she's like, okay, yeah, I was going to pick it. I'm going to play it. And then she's like, okay, thank you. Can you help me with this? Or she's going to like text me, hey, how do you get this done? So right now, as first impressions, we're all having a great fucking time. We've probably played enough, meaning Animal Crossing is not that, it's not going to get super complex the longer you play it. It's just going to get, I guess, more monotonous the more you play it.
Oh, it gets
it's going to be more
complex. You just don't know it yet, brother.
You're probably going to be doing Tom Nook's taxes or something. I don't know. But
once you unlock terraforming, it's fucking over, bud.
We haven't played enough to really review it, but we've played enough to kind of say like, okay, this is fun. It's Animal Crossing. If you expected it to be anything different, I don't know what you thought was going to happen. It's Animal Crossing. On the Switch, you can play it mobile, you can play it docked. It looks great on both. It's cartoons. The one thing I really like that I saw somebody else mention, when you're picking a person, they say choose your style. They don't say, what gender are you? Are you going to have long hair and a dress, or are you going to be a boy? And it's like, choose your style, whatever you feel. And it's just like, it's a modern day Animal Crossing. There's phones, like you have apps. It's just like they're trying to be the Animal Crossing of the 21st century. And they're doing it. I'm enjoying it, having a good time. We're back now.
For now,
we're going to try. I got new equipment, so hopefully this worked. And if it turns out that I can't see Amar because we're locked down, we're on quarantine, there can't be more than 2 people in the room. I'm the third. I'm the third wheel, so I can't be in here. We're going to have Amar call in.
God.
And just talk on the phone with me for a half an hour because we can do that. I got a new equipment or a new mixer to make that happen. So we appreciate you guys listening to this. We'll try to be back and be more regular. I could be a little bit more regular. Maybe my diet is causing that, but we'll see. Go play Animal Crossing. Go get it. It will help you through these weird times that we are in that I couldn't imagine what's happening now like a month ago. Did not see any of this coming. It's so weird, but at least video games are there for us. They always have been, always will be. So go play some video games, have a great time, or go play Doom if you're not into Animal Crossing. That looks fun too, of just killing demons. What's wrong with that? So we appreciate you guys listening. Thank you. Go follow the Twitter at BCG Podcast, the Instagram at Board Certified Gaming Podcast. Go check all that stuff out. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
Later.